Before we get into today and pick apart stage 9, address the news that...
Speaking of clunky,
yeah. I mean, unexpected, clunky, certainly, was the news yesterday that Juan Ayuso and UAE Team Emirates will be parting ways at the end of this season. Ayuso was due to stay on that team until 2028. There has been an awful lot of speculation over his role within that team, whether he can and wanted to support any of the riders that he would be sharing leadership duties with. We are told that after differences in the vision of development plans and in the alignment with the team's sporting philosophy, the contract comes to an end. So, before we get into this, here is the team's general manager, Martin Fernandez, when he was asked why they decided to release the news yesterday, seeing as it came as a little bit of a surprise. Here's what he said.
Well, you know that there are situations in life and different circumstances. You know how much I appreciate and love Juan, but it's something that we've been speaking about, that we made happen, and that it's been decided together. There's situations, and he's one of our riders until the end of December. We're going to try and do the best with the team like we always did together. And I wish him the best for the upcoming year. I can't see anything other than the wishing him the best because he's an amazing rider. Well, yes. I really think I've got a weight off my back. I'm happy that it's been announced, and it's good to know that what happened in the past months ago is gone. It's been a difficult preparation for the Vuelta. I can also say that I don't agree with the team statement. Yesterday evening it was published at 7 p.m. and I was told at around 6:30. There were some journalists with whom I've got a good relationship knew from lunchtime that the announcement was going to be made. We agreed that the statement was going to be announced publicly when the Vuelta was over with the team, in order not to affect things on the sporting side, nor the atmosphere in the team or any other teammate. When it came out yesterday and why, well, I think that's a question you need to ask the team, and why suddenly without any notice? Obviously, I know why they did it. They're trying to damage my reputation and image. I would have liked to have ended things well with the team, because all along the negotiation before the Vuelta was to end things well. But sometimes it seems that's not possible, and it's more like a dictatorship, I have to say. They've got power over you.
I'm honestly watching that through my fingers. I wish somebody was on the side of Juan Ayuso, this young 22-year-old man, saying, no, stop talking. So he said that he feels that the team are trying to damage his reputation. This comes after... He said after stage 9 there was no point in him pulling for his team leader because 5 minutes in the front wasn't going to make any difference and his GC race was over. I don't think he's doing his reputation much good. Anyway, is he, Adam? Am I being unfair?
No, completely not. I just don't know what he's thinking, you know. I think from what he said, it's in the team's best interest and not his. What he's done there is not within his best interest to say what he's just said as well. Ultimately, he's just thrown his team under the bus and forcing all the blame on them. The reason he's leaving the team, it's not a shock for them that he's leaving, and they've come to that agreement beforehand because something's not right. That doesn't mean it's the team that's not right or he's not right. It's a collective. Both of them are not happy either with Juan, and Juan's not happy with them. But I think for Juan to really throw his team under the bus as much as possible there, for giving him, ultimately, in the best team in the world, for giving him the opportunities that he's had, and number 3, giving him so much money for what is looked upon as potential, he has to be thankful for them. I just don't think what he said there is necessarily fair and right. And I think also him saying that the team want to damage his reputation, like, you're a cyclist, your legs do the talking, you're going to be signed up on your results. And having that for a team in the future, saying, we're not sure how he's going to react and if he throws under the bus or not, it doesn't look great for him.
No, and also you've got to remember, this was a lad who was given leadership, sole leadership duties at the Giro D'Italia. He had that honour, that privilege on a team where there is Tadej Pogacar, but he wasn't the best rider on the team. And of course he had to leave for other reasons, and he had his beasting and all the rest of it. But Isaac Del Toro was proving himself to be the better rider in that race. And so there's just a lot that's not really marrying up with, I think, Juan Ayuso's interpretation of events.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. He's a very articulate lad. But one thing that's clear on the evidence that we've seen over the last couple of years, He isn't a team player.
No.
In my opinion, I'm sorry, mate. It's not a team player.
And
it's
he's
not
going to have
working.
to learn to be, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to have to learn to be. Whoever picks him up, there's speculation about where he goes. Right now, that doesn't really matter. And okay, you could argue that there needs to be synergy and understanding on when you release certain bits of information, but for him to accuse the team of undermining him, and he's still in the game, it isn't good at all. The optics are really bad. It's going to impact the rest of the team, and that's quite interesting that he chose to give that interview to just some local press as well, in his own language, because he does speak very, very good English. But I would say that language is incendiary.
Yeah.
It really is. And I know there's a deeper interview where he has spoken to Almeida because he wasn't happy with what Almeida said, and he said, look, I'm going to work for the team. That remains to be seen. But that statement is the beginning of the end for me. It really is. It would be very, very interesting to see how he actually operates within the team. But right now, from what we've seen, he's a brilliant talent, but he needs to get used to the fact that when you've been paid millions of euros, you've got to be a team player. That's it.
Yeah, because you can be a brilliant talent, but if you cannot have a team around you that wants to work for you and you show that you can work for them, that talent doesn't really go anywhere. That's the problem.
I also think that the team has been willing to work for him. You look at Del Toro, they ultimately in that Giro, they held back for him almost, I feel. So it's not like we don't know the logistics and everything that's going on behind closed doors, but if there is that little battle between them and the team has looked to back him. Like he's doing his second Grand Tour of the year. If they knew about this, which I'm sure they did before the Vuelta, forget about it. You ain't riding the Vuelta. We'll put someone else in and give him a chance. But he's here doing the Vuelta, and he also had the backing from the team, from what we understand, that he's got joint leadership. So I don't know. For me, it's just wind your neck in a little bit.